UFC fans, we have an unreal fight for you this Saturday at UFC 281. Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira is one of the most interesting matches in UFC history, and you don't want to miss it. If you want to make things even more exciting, listen up. Our sponsor, DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC, is giving new customers an amazing deal. If you're a new customer, here's what you do. Sign up using the promo code Sonnen. Bet just $5 on either fighter to win prior to the fight starting. And if he does, you will win an additional $200 in free bets in your pocket. Want even more action? Combine multiple bets, like which fighter will win and how long the fight will last, in one parlay to give you a shot at even bigger winnings. If mobile sports betting is not yet available in your state, DraftKings Daily Fantasy is giving all MMA fans a chance to cash out this weekend. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code Sonnen when signing up. Bet $5 on any UFC 281 fighter to win, and you will get an additional $200 in free bets if your athlete wins. That's code Sonnen. This Saturday at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. Izzy Adesanya. Guys, if you're studying a fighter, right, you have to pay close attention to him. And I'm talking about as an all-time great. You have to pay attention to Adesanya. You know what's hard, though? I want to really caution you. You're probably not going to be able to do his techniques. We had a guy like this when I was growing up, Jon Smith. Jon Smith was the best, but he was also an all-time great. He revolutionized the sport of wrestling. I have never, and I've been following wrestling forever, known anyone to be as innovative, truly changing our sport quite like Jon Smith. And I'd never been hurt. Oh, I was so lucky. I mean, what's that expression, knock on wood? I've never dealt with an injury, guy. Little pain here or there, but not an injury. Not something that forced me to stop. Jon Smith had this flexibility, and I had a number of coaches. I'd go in and I'd try to look like Jon Smith. Now, the whole country's doing that. Everybody's doing what I'm doing, trying to mimic this guy, but I would have coaches warn me. They'd say, look, you don't have his flexibility. I see what you're trying to do. I see you're trying to get under the ankle. I see you're coming to two knees on a high crotch. I see you're grabbing the elbow. You don't have his flexibility. You've got to watch his stuff, and then you have to still wrestle your match. Now, I was 11 years old. I'm watching this guy. I'm going to know more than the coaches. I'm going to go get Jon Smith's flexibility. And there was a still photo. Like, it was hard to get video back then. I mean, you guys remember this. This is the 80s. It was hard. So a lot of me watching Jon Smith was me watching still photos. There's this warm-up shot right before he goes out for the gold medal match. He's in the back. He's covered in sweat. His warm-up's done, and he's sitting. Now, he's on both knees. Try to picture this, though, guys. Try to picture this. He's on both knees, but his butt is touching the mat. Try to picture that, because think of the level of flexibility that you would need. If I drop down to both knees right now, my butt is off the mat. I think that you could relate. But he turned both of his ankles out. His butt could hit the mat. It was just this flexibility, but this was a classic Jon Smith shot. I go and do it one time. I have never been hurt. I have never been hurt. Wrestling 5 and 6 matches every single weekend. I had to have surgery on both knees. And all I did, I was alone in my garage. I did a warm-up. I got the sweat just like Jon Smith. I dropped down to this position that was a still photo. I tear cartilage in both of my knees. So you got to be real careful when you're copying guys, and you can't be frustrated. That frustrated me. If I can't wrestle like him and he's the greatest, then I can't be the greatest, right? Sometimes you do this math. You're not going to be able to copy Adesanya. Adesanya has a rhythm. He will dance partway through a match. I mean, there's just things. There's a rhythm that he has. There is a length that he has. There's a skill set that he has. You've heard of bob and weave? Bob and weave's a very real thing. It's called head movement. You bob this way, you weave this way. Adesanya can do something called the pole. It's very rare for a male to have the flexibility in his back. Okay? Male gymnasts and female gymnasts do not compete on all of the same apparatuses. Well, it has to do with the flexibility that's very common for females and very uncommon for males. Adesanya has it. So he can do what's called the pole. He doesn't have to bob and weave only duck only, he can also pull back. Anderson Silva had that. Roy Jones has that. Mayweather has that. It's very rare. I share this with you because when I want you to copy him, when I want you to study him, I don't want a young fighter to then think that they have to be able to do Adesanya techniques. There's a uniqueness to this. But there is also an art of war. There is an art of war. I brought talking brash. People call it trash talk. I don't like that term, but talking brash. I brought that to our sport. In all fairness. But I was greatly misunderstood as to why I did it. I've heard people try to categorize it for me and say he did that to get into his opponent's head. There's a little element of that, for sure. But I will explain to you the art of war, and that is only done with words, right? The best general never fires a shot. The best general can align his troops and back the other side down. I've asked you guys this analogy for the last 6 years. Think of high school and think who the toughest dude in your high school was, and you all know that answer with no hesitation. But if I went a step further and asked who you saw that guy fight and beat, you would then be stuck. And you would turn it back on me and you say, Chael, nobody fought him. Aren't you listening? He was the baddest dude in the whole school and everybody knew it. I agree. But he was a general that whatever he had to do to align his troops, he never had to fire a shot. Adesanya goes on Ariel's show today. Okay? Adesanya has proclaimed that he knows something that Pereira doesn't. And it is that secret that is going to be the difference in this contest. It is for that secret that he knows. Within that secret is why he has a confidence. When you're following the art of war, you must make your enemy believe that you have a weapon that they cannot defend against, and you must convince that enemy that you're willing to use it. That's another key part that people don't have. I've got 50 nuclear weapons. Okay, but are you going to use it? That would be a terrible thing. It's very hard to imagine that we would be equitable for whatever I did to upset you to the point that we're fighting. Would that be equitable to drop a nuke and destroy everything? I don't think you're going to use it, and therefore I'm going to move on with how you got to have the weapon, and you got to make them believe that you're willing to use it. It's very important. So Adesanya goes on Ariel's show today, and he said that he knows something that Pereira doesn't know. My palms are sweating when he said, I want to know what it is. What does he know? What could he possibly know? That's why he has confidence, because he has a piece of knowledge. How does he know Pereira doesn't know it? I've never seen a fighter go out and brag. They talk about experience. They talk about their training. They talk about their coaching. They talk about, I was born to do this, and this is what they talk about. They talk about the speed of their jab, the combination, the way that they go to the body. They talk about all sorts of things. They have never proclaimed that they know something. I know, not about I've ran 5 miles a day, not about my diet and nutrition, and I've been eating plenty of spinach and getting extra sleep, all the things I find. No. Adesanya, he knows something. He knows something Pereira doesn't. Guys, this is a genius at work. I mean, but this truly is. Adesanya will entertain you on the way to the ring. He'll entertain you in the ring, and he'll entertain you before he leaves. Nobody does all three. If you do 2 of them, you're way ahead of the curve. You can be a main eventer. You can be a top draw, only having one of those things. There isn't a 4th thing, by the way. There isn't a 5th thing. By the way, there's only those 3. Before the ring, in the ring, on your way out of the ring. That's it. That's it. It doesn't matter if you look cool dropping your kids off for school. It doesn't matter what you ate the night before. It doesn't matter whether you pray before bed or you don't. It has nothing to do with it. The fans are going to see 3 things. Before the ring, in the ring, on your way out of the ring. That's it. Adesanya. Check, check, check. And now he knows something his opponent doesn't know. And that is going to be the difference, guys. I mean, right? Come on. I must give him his due on this. What possibly could that be? And how would you know that he doesn't know? No. No. Best general never fires a shot. He makes you believe he has a weapon, and he makes you believe that he's willing to use it.